Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm on my way to bed, or at least I was right after I recorded the I've Killing Voice reaction for the other channel. Uh, but then I've surprised me and dropped a performance video for my bias Gaeul for Odd, her solo off of the full album here. So naturally I couldn't miss that. Not just because she's my bias, but because I couldn't pass up a solo from her. So I was super eager to check it out. And now I want to take a closer look at it with you guys. And also, if you haven't seen the Eye of Killing Voice reaction, like I said, that is over on the Jeff Reacts 12 page. I did think about running a test, putting it here, like no changes, just copying it over for both channels just to see which channel it does better on. But I don't know. Let me know if you guys would want to see it on this channel as well, even though it would be literally the exact same video, same thumbnail, everything. Uh, Seems kind of redundant. I don't know if the search engine would like that much, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, let's go check out Odd from Gaeul. There are no English subtitles, by the way. It's all Korean auto-gen. She's such a beautiful voice. I love that. I can't tell if it's a guitar, like a Spanish guitar or something, the instrument that is playing along with this. But she's setting the stage for like this dreamy vibe with the white outfit and the petals falling and the soft vocals and whatever this is that she's laying on, a sofa, I don't know. But anyway, it's all just like it's got this almost soft, dreamy, romantic vibe to it. Um, let's keep going through, I guess, the chorus, and then we'll talk about lyrics. I love that choreo too. You know, I love her pronunciation of the word odd. It's like ode. I can't sound like her, obviously, but her and Lisa both pronounce it very similarly. And she pronounces it the same way as she does in the song for, I think it was Love Dive. Uh, but something about her accent and the way she sings it, just, I love it. Okay, let's hear the chorus. Okay, so verse one, the algorithm of a new color, my prism reflecting my inner self. So a prism reflects, white light into colors of the rainbow, right? And so the prism could reflecting her inner self, showing that she has multiple colors, multiple sides of herself. Unfolding infinity, another way of saying the same thing. This feeling is violet, rippling like a breath, a view like a reflected maze. So um, just images that conjure in your mind dreaminess, things that aren't necessarily well defined, which goes back to the title of Odd. The pre-chorus, not bad. The feeling of imperfection. Asymmetrical lines are beautiful. Asymmetry, of course, being the opposite of symmetry, which, symmetry would be like this is symmetrical to this. It's the same on both sides, like a mirror image. But asymmetrical meaning there would be a difference there. Um, Let's take a silhouette like a mirage of subtle light stretching out into the distance. The end of my gaze is always odd. Chorus here. Let's make something out of nothing. Let's make something super beautiful. So making something out of nothing and making something super beautiful, of course, speaking to that idea of imperfections and not everything has to be perfect. It can be odd. There is beauty in the asymmetry, like she said. Let's take this heart that led me. The moment I awoke shines. The end of my gaze is always odd. So this heart that led me the moment I awoke. I feel like this is her message to her fans. Like we were there the moment she was able to debut, and we led her heart from that moment on. Also love right here where like in the lyrics we've got a line about spilled paint. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But in the video, it's like she's waving a paintbrush almost like a magic wand, and the spilled paint is becoming the color in the video. So like we went from the darker tones, the shadows, and then we ended up with color right there. So yeah, that's I like that. That's a nice little detail. Her choreo and the backup dancers are so fluid. Love the veil coming off there, or the hood. I cannot get over her voice, man. I mentioned this in the reaction, but we know her for her dance and we know her for her rap. She doesn't get a whole lot of time to shine vocally. She does get some lines, and when she does, they're beautiful. Like she had some lines in the most recent title track, Black Hole. But overall, we don't know her as the vocalist Gaeul. But she sounds so good. And this whole performance is lovely. Like her backup dancers are accentuating her perfectly. Her choreo is smooth, fluid, but also elegant. It matches the dreaminess of the song. Let's see. Verse 2. Within the pages of my past, the spilled paints draw a special shape of heart, indescribable, an emotion without a name, an unrealistic scene blows. So I take that as like the mistakes of her past have made her who she is, but also that it's become a beautiful life and a beautiful existence with us too, because the reason I say it, take it that way. So we talk about the pages of the past, so her story that's already been written, where she came from, the spilled paint, and the spilled paint. We obviously talk about the colors, like we mentioned earlier. The prism, the this feeling's violet, all that stuff. But when you spill paint, it's a mistake. It can obviously lead to imperfections, which she has talked about as being beautiful. But it also says that spilled paint drew a special shape of heart, so it became the love and her heart, and what she cherishes. As I think about it, though, I'm reminded of a famous painter here in America, Bob Ross. If you've never heard of him, was famous back in like the 80s and early 90s. And he was famous for uplifting people and telling people like anybody can do this technique that he had learned. And one of the things he used to say was that we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents. And you know, maybe that's what we're getting at here. You know, we're not the spilled paint. It's not mistakes. We're reframing our mindset, so we made something beautiful out of it. So it became a happy accident. Uh, yeah, I don't know, but it just came to my mind as I was thinking about it. Um, an emotion without a name, an unrealistic scene blows. It's almost like again becoming a dream. And we've talked about the dreamy atmosphere of this song already. Uh, let's see. Does the pre-chorus change at all? Um, a, the only line that changes is that it leaves out the end of my gaze is always odd. And then we get the chorus again. So we'll check out the bridge. Her hair is a paid dancer. I mentioned this in the reaction too. This girl stays crawling. Like recently, like she in the black hole video I mentioned, like that she's crawling towards the camera. Now it's part of her choreo for her own song too. I remember her saying like she contributed the lyrics to this. She contributed a lot of the ideas and like dictated how she wanted the performance of this song to be. Everything like set up to like match the vibe she wanted and everything. So yeah, like this was her choice. So I don't, but she did this song before Black Hole came out. So I'm curious if she wanted to do it again for the choreo in that video, or if that was like the production was like, hey, you did so good with it in your own that we want to put it in this too. I don't know. Look at that core strength from those dancers too. Okay, before we let her finish with the final chorus, the bridge is blooming ma jamais vu, which is a French phrase. So you've heard the phrase like deja vu, which is this feeling that you know um, that you've been somewhere or you've seen something, like you've experienced something, but you never have. But this is kind of the opposite. It's like something that you are very familiar with, but that all of a sudden doesn't seem familiar. Like if have you ever written a word where like you write it all the time and suddenly you're looking at this word and it's like, did I spell that right? Or like if you are, I don't know, let's say you grew up somewhere uh, and you go back to where you grew up, and even if nothing's changed, you look at it and you feel like something's out of place, that you don't recognize it. Like it's that feeling. So blooming my jamais vu is like not only blooming as in like she's becoming who she wants to be, like blooming like a flower, but this feeling of jamais vu is starting to bloom or starting to grow, where she's been in the situation before, but it doesn't seem familiar. It seems dreamy and off to her, like it was odd. An unfamiliar feeling piercing through these dazzling senses, right before my eyes, bright wave, a dazzling unknown, a free vibe, wonderful, that's great, in the landscape that my tingling toes open up, the gaze that reaches me is odd. And so now we're talking about someone like peering in at her. And again, we know this song was meant for her to share between us and her. And I know that because she performed it as at their concert in Seoul, and she actually did a mint, talking about it. So, I do know that much. So the gaze peering back at her is about us. But this dazzling unknown, the free vibe, is like her feeling free to be herself. And again, this dreaminess, but also this connection, and like this, this bright future that she has in front of her. like the vocal layering here too. Ugh, just so satisfying. Oh, good job, Gaeul. All right, my friends, that was Odd from Gaeul, and as you could tell, I loved the song. I had a great time, but also this song really gives us a chance to appreciate her vocals more. We already know she can dance, although she got to dance in a much more artistic way for this song than she would in the group songs. Uh, the only thing this song's missing, and it's not missing in the sense of like it needs it, it's just missing in the sense of she didn't get to showcase it, was her rap. And so, would love to see another solo song from her later where she actually does incorporate the rap. Like I said, this one didn't need the rap. Rap didn't belong here. But it is an aspect of her that she's very talented at that we didn't get to see. But if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell to enable your notifications. And also, if you want to get a request done, there are two ways to do it. You can either subscribe to Patreon at the gray tier or higher. Thank you guys for anyone who's already done that already. And you guys are amazing. Appreciate your support. If you're interested in that Patreon, you get access to content that I can't put here on YouTube, and you get those guaranteed requests every month. The other possible way of getting a request done is to look in the description below and check out the link there. There's a link for PayPal and instructions on how to use it. So yeah, feel free to take a look, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.